Hey, I'm Dave, and you're joining us for our E3 coverage. I'm here with Pete.
Hey.
Hey, Pete. So Pete and I were the only two that actually bothered to get up for EA's conference, and
Bloody Tam.
I think we'll let the others off the hook. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
look,
kind of
I mean,
understandable. It's just EA.
They didn't miss much. Yeah.
No, they
It's
didn't.
fine.
But I don't know about you, but I was kind of expecting more from EA this year, given last year. They were sort of definitely the weakest conference last year. Even newcomer Bethesda to E3 last year put on a better show. So
Yeah,
and
Bethesda had a really good conference last year, so
they did.
that's their
I
first one.
don't feel that EA have redeemed themselves. But anyway, we'll get into what was revealed and give our thoughts. The first one they started with was Titanfall 2. We didn't really get to see a lot of gameplay, did we? It
No,
was just the trailer.
it was trailer and the story trailer.
Yeah, but there was gameplay in that trailer. But
Yep.
yeah, I don't think we learned a lot about how Titanfall 2 is going to be too different from the original. It's the only thing I'm worried about. We saw the grapple hook. They're making good use of that. It actually looks pretty neat. The things you can do sort of mid-air with that. And the Titans, I only saw the sword at one stage. They had these big beams that they could shoot out. I can't remember if that was in the first one. I feel like it wasn't.
So they were saying there was 6 new Titans in
Six
this
new
game?
Titans.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't really tell them apart. I couldn't tell what was so different about these Titans, and
It just felt
I
like
still feel
they didn't really do
Yeah.
much. Like they,
no.
I think because of Battlefield 1, they really tried to focus on that instead of Titanfall, and I think that's kind of a mistake because we know what we're getting with Battlefield 1, but we don't really know what we're getting with Titanfall.
Yeah, they definitely gave Battlefield more time, EA, and we'll get to that later. But I feel that they should have shown more of Titanfall 2 because those two together, Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1, won't really be competition to each other. They are very different games, and it's more about syncing Call of Duty. If EA can actually make Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1 both a hit and release at the same time, or around about the same time, I'm pretty sure. We did get release dates, didn't we? When
Yeah,
is Titanfall 2
October?
coming out?
28th, I think.
October 28th. All right. And yeah, Call of Duty would release around the same time. Yeah, I think we need to see a lot more of Titanfall 2 between now and then. And we will, of course, but yeah, I need to see more changes to the game. The levels themselves didn't look all that interesting. They actually looked very much like the old ones, so yeah.
We just
a little
haven't
bit,
seen enough. I
a
think
little bit
we'll see
skeptical
more.
on that one. And then EA, typical EA, got straight into sports games.
Yep.
No one's really excited for when EA gets into sports games, but they didn't actually go full sports this year. Whereas last year you had this sports game, this sports game, this sports game, this sports game, and then it took up about at least half an hour conferences usually. But
Yep.
this year they just they got straight to it. They showed a bit of Madden NFL, which us in Australia, we don't really care about the Madden games. I might have like one friend that actually plays Madden games. So, yeah.
It's more on the
not too
esports
far.
stuff too, wasn't it?
Yeah. So they didn't focus too much on the changes to the game, probably because there aren't that many, but more on the esports championship series they're doing. They're going to put out $1 million prize pool. So, good on them, but I wonder, is there that much competitive play for NFL and
I don't know.
NFL?
It seemed like they're putting a lot of money behind it, so there must be something, but maybe they're just trying to get more people into it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, because there already is sort of a FIFA esports thing going, isn't there?
I think so.
Yeah,
Not
surely
sure.
there is. Yeah,
Yeah.
with like Ultimate Team or something. So EA are just looking to push another one of their sports ones. I'm just not sure Madden was probably the right choice. NBA might have
Yeah.
been better. I don't
I
know.
mean, it's 2K, isn't it?
No,
Oh, as in
EA have
live.
NBA as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Yep.
I
Um.
feel like 2K is really like destroying NBA Live at the moment, though.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Speaking of FIFA, we saw that as well. Of course, they noted on four specific changes to the game, but really, it just looks like the same FIFA to me.
With the story mode
But
now.
but it is getting the story mode. I can't believe a FIFA game or any sports game would ever have a story mode. That just seems it probably seems really laughable to some, but you and I both agree that it's actually refreshing to see them actually trying to change things up.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty substantial like addition to the game. So I'm excited to try it out. Apparently NBA 2K15 had a similar career mode, and they carried that over to 2K16 as well. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
so
okay. So
maybe
it
they're
has been
trying
done
to like,
before.
yeah,
Replicate that success, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I liked
You know,
how in the sports games they really split them up this year. Like usually they do. Now we're talking about sports, and this is gonna be half an hour of our conference that is just the worst. But
yeah.
but this year they split it up with like, and they put Mass Effect in there, and they put Star Wars in there. Not to spoil the rest of the conference, but yeah, it was really good.
Of course, no sports section of an EA conference would be complete without our celebrity guests.
Jose Mourinho. It's just a weird choice. Like I don't know why they chose him. It's weird.
Would you have preferred to see Pele again?
I mean, yes, definitely. Over Jose
Uh,
Mourinho, I would prefer to see anyone, but it's
he
weird.
he didn't seem all that keen to be there, and
No,
you have to wonder whether EA's conference was really weird this year, where they split it up. They had Los Angeles, but then they also had it in London, and they were crossing over and then crossing back and crossing over, and it was
probably Jose Mourinho said no. I don't want to fly to LA for a
yeah,
conference. So
yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Um, what was with that where he almost had a dig at him for not
for
including
not
all
being,
20 football managers?
yeah, it was weird. It's just super awkward.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure they were expecting that. Anyway, moving on from sports. Star Wars. Star Wars. We got the big blast of Star Wars music to wake us up after sports.
Yep.
But we
Oh,
didn't actually get any gameplay really. And I predicted this. This was one of the only things I got right in my predictions for the EA conference was that we were just going to get teasers for Star Wars games, not actually any gameplay, and that's what we got.
yep.
So, um,
So no games till
it,
2018, right? Well, no
yeah,
big games.
well, they're just as they noted, they're just bringing new content to their current games in the time being, and then we get that new visceral games, Star Wars in 2018. That's a fair wait, but I hope it'll be worth the wait. Having that Uncharted developer in there will
Yeah,
probably make it really interesting, but time will tell.
hopefully we'll see.
But I'm just a bit sick of developer diaries from EA.
Yep.
Why couldn't we have? We didn't get a single live demo in EA's conference, and yeah, you can say live demos don't always go according to plan, but
At least
everyone
they're
still
genuine. Like
yeah, they're
they feel
genuine.
more genuine.
Exactly. Everyone can
It's
appreciate a live demo,
yeah, and
whereas a developer diary just seems like, oh yeah, you could have shown this at any time because you put this together piece by piece very carefully and
yeah, it's very
made
scripted.
it made yeah,
Mm.
like we could have got that anytime, not during E3. So anyway, speaking of developer diaries, we sort of got one for Mass Effect, didn't we?
Yep, we did.
That was all we got. Yeah, Mass Effect on Andromeda. I don't think we really learned anything about the game, or too much about the game, other than it has a female character,
Yep.
presumably the main character.
I'm not
Um,
sure. Maybe. I guess. Well,
yeah,
it might be like. I'm not sure.
because it is an entirely new story to the previous Mass Effect games, right?
Yep,
That's what
I think
that's what I'm
so.
pretty sure I had. Yeah.
Yeah, I really have no idea. I haven't been following the game.
Yeah, I'm not following it either. Yeah, I should get around to playing the Mass Effect series.
Yeah,
Apparently, it is quite good, but what else did we have, Pete?
we had
Fee.
Fee. Yeah,
Okay, Fee is an interesting one in that because we saw Unravel last year. Martin Sullivan got up on stage all nervous and weird and presented this
wonderful.
adorable game,
Yep.
but it was genuine, as you used that word before.
Yeah.
It was very genuine, and he was just so appreciative to be there. And EA may be onto something actually, not so much. Whereas other publishers just put together these indie montages and things, but really just taking one indie developer, picking a game that looks really good, and just putting them in the spotlight, only them.
Yeah.
Um, and they're calling it EA Originals. I don't think they really needed to give it a name. They could just do it. But
Just got to
I'm
brand
excited.
everything.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more EA Originals, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Because Fee does look very nice. It looks similar to Ori and the Blind Forest with its color scheme,
It's 3D though,
um,
right?
visuals. Yeah, but it is 3D.
Which is will be
So
interesting,
yeah, we don't get too many 3D platformers these days. I
especially
mean, it looks
3D
like
like
it's
indie platformers, because it's hard to do.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And the guy presenting it was almost just as nervous
Just as
as
nervous, yeah.
Martin Scully. But yeah, I'm excited to see more of that game. I hope it gets the support behind it that Unravel did.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah. Battlefield 1. That was the last game that we that EA finished off with for their conference.
Yep.
I was hoping for some other unexpected announcements, maybe a new SSX game, but no, it didn't happen. And we didn't get to see Criterion's new game, which we didn't see
No.
last year. We saw the year before, and it was very early build stages.
Mm.
So I'm worried about that game. I don't know what is going on with Criterion. Maybe
I'm just
they're.
gonna think it's cancelled, right? Like,
I think they're having second thoughts that they were thinking too big, trying to have basically every vehicle or sort of transport in a racing game.
and they're a much
Um,
smaller studio now, so they can't really. I don't think they can
yeah,
afford to do that.
really small, like
Mm.
less than 20 people, right?
Yep.
15?
Something like
So,
that. It's insane.
yeah, they should have just done another Burnout game, really.
Yeah.
Everyone would love that. Anyway, Battlefield 1,
Oh yeah.
it's still just Battlefield for me. I don't know about you, Pete, but
It looks good,
yeah,
but I'm
it
just.
does.
Everyone's being like, "Rest in peace, COD." Like this is the final nail in the coffin, but it just seems like Battlefield, and that's cool. But I don't know. I think when people like get a chance to play it, they'll be like, "Oh, this is very different to COD. Like this is large scale maps, a lot of sniping, that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
point capture."
Um, yeah, I'm not a fan of the multiplayer. I mean, it's impressive that, it's so big. They had
Mm.
ridiculous amount of people all playing it live this morning.
Yep.
And there's some pretty impressive things that go on, like the airship, the Zeppelin. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just can't see myself getting into it. The single player, on the other hand, we only got a trailer for it, but I found that a bit more interesting. Just because I don't know. I'd love to see the war story, just because World War One isn't an interesting war, so I'm interested to see how they make that interesting.
Yep.
So yeah,
I mean, it's set in alternate history, so they
yeah,
can do a lot of different things with it. It's just EA Dice aren't great at single player campaigns. It's just they've never made a good Battlefield campaign, really. It's just I don't
yeah.
know.
I feel like them going back to such old times will work in their favor
I think
compared
so.
to
Yeah.
compared to Call of Duty and their Infinite Warfare storyline, God knows what they're going to do with that.
It's just they just keep going further and further into the future. It's like, why?
Yeah. But yeah, that was it for EA, Pete.
Yeah,
Did you have any other thoughts about the conference overall? Were you
I
happy
just
with any of it?
like I wasn't unhappy with any of it. It's just they don't really know what they're doing when they do conferences. I just feel like they have a lot of games here. They have like Mass Effect, they have Star Wars, they even have like FIFA, Battlefield 1. Like they're big games,
Yeah.
but they just don't know how to show them. Like nothing really hyped me up for any of the games that we saw, really.
I feel like it was more that they just let out too much about these games previously,
Yeah.
and
They had
if,
nothing
if
surprising to show.
yeah, exactly. If you don't have anything to shock people with, if you don't actually have anything new, really, then skip the conference for a year.
Yeah.
Just have the show floor demos and everything. Well, they have their own freaking thing. They moved it across the road, EA Play or whatever it is. So, did they need a conference? No,
Probably not.
I don't think they did. No. And yeah, they have all these big games, but they're still playing it a bit safe. Where they took one risk with one indie game. That was the
Yeah,
one risk.
the one risk. It just
Everything
doesn't-
else was very safe.
Yeah. Which sucks, but I'm sure like the rest of the conferences will be a little bit more daring and a little bit more exciting because we'll see things that we
Yes.
haven't seen before.
Definitely looking forward to the other conferences. We actually got a few leaks, including what the new Xbox One looks like, the slimmer one. So
Yep.
excited to hear more about that.
Should be interesting.
And we'll be back for another chat for the Bethesda conference, and hopefully have at least one other person join us. Sure.
I'm sure Tam will be up by then.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining me, Pete. And
worries.
anyone listening, thanks for listening. See ya.